Hi, everybody. Welcome to part two of the winter garden work here at Shanti Institute. We're at the Shanti Atlanta location in Conyers, Georgia. And welcome to the garden. And check out part one. Okay, this is a Homa garden based on Ayurvedic principles. So this is a Agnihotra garden. I am the Agnihotra Lady. And so check out part one. And this is part two about how to do and prep your garden during the wintertime as you get ready for the next growing season. Okay, so check out the rest of the video. Okay, so once again, this is part two of redoing the garden. So I'm just giving you an update. This is the final phase. Let me just do a general sweeping of the area. Yes, it's wet right there because it rained a little bit yesterday. So you can see this is the efforts of doing all this digging in the wintertime. And Roni came back in part one with the pickaxe. So this is the method here. And I know I was calling it the modified lasagna method, but I only was able to do one layer. Let me just show you, because Ronnie, he won't be here until later, but let me show you what I did. So this is not hay, which is the top layer. This is like some overgrown grass, actually from my neighbor's yard. They only mow twice a day, but I couldn't find any chemical-free clay. So this is the soil from our Tuskegee main campus location, which comes from the cow pen. So this is, I brought it down to Shanti Atlanta, let me see, 3 or 4 months ago. And it's cow manure from the cow pen mixed with the soil. And so let me just say this, that you if you're going to have a farm, we have a 13-acre farm up there. It's an Ayurvedic medicine school farm and eco center. But for you to have any farmland, you got to have animals, because the animals condition the soil, because they poop, they pee, and they stomp down on the ground. I'm talking about cows specifically, but animals in general. So for you to have diversity in your soil, you need to have animals on your farm. So whether it be cows, goats, lambs, whatever you're going to have. And then, we're all vegan. We don't kill any animals or anything like that. So our cows eat only hay, and then whatever mineral blocks that we buy them as well. So it's been sitting outside for a while. So underneath this, you can see a little bit. So there's scraps, veggie scraps, and then there are leaves right underneath this long dried grass. So that's how you start. You see all these sticks that I have in the one over here? You start off with sticks, and then you do your next layer. Okay, so let me see if I can dig through here. So underneath all this, is scraps, veggie scraps. And the sticks is just for volume, so you don't have to use so much compost, okay? Yeah, because everybody does not have cows and access to cow manure in large amounts like we do. So that's why you do the sticks. It helps with the fill up your bed, whether you're doing a raised bed or I'm calling this a garden bed, but this is really sort of, it's like a modified double dig method, the French intensive method, which I did, I think, several years ago. Okay. So here comes one of the cats. Hey there, don't you come in here messing around. So anyway, you do this. I put the next layer of leaves, and then you put the grass down. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around so I can talk now, so you can see, and we're going to repeat this in each of these areas. So this is the garlic that you all saw in part one, that, I didn't know how much we were going to dig up, but I'm going to let probably the garlic, except for the small ones, stay in there. But that's what we're doing. And that's Dandelion the cat. Dandelion. Say cheese. So let me see, can I flip the camera around? Let me see, can I do that in this mode? I don't think I can, but let me. So, so you, like I said, you dig all winter, okay? And of course, I'm talking about if you don't have any help. And Roni helped me towards the end. And then you, like I said, you're doing sticks. If you got a garden bed, you can do even bigger logs. And then your veggie scraps, okay? Then your soil, your compost, and then your leaves and if you can't find chemical free hay, I just went to my neighbor's yard. As a matter of fact, let me show it to you. I went over here. Dandelion. I went over here, so you can see right there my neighbor has this tall grass, and that's what I used as a very top layer. Okay, it's really good. And also too, my existing broken down compost. Okay, that's my pallet table. Okay, and these are cement mixers that I use is like for my microgreens. And they only cost $11 at the time, y'all. Y'all don't have to buy these expensive things. They be costing $50 and $100. So I haven't done anything to these, okay? But this is my pallet table. Everything is repurposed. So let me show you what else is in that hole. So this is how I do the compost in these. Here, let me start over here. So and things are sprouting. I got potatoes and sweet potatoes and things. So you can see I use these milk crates that I got from the farmer's market in Tigerstown in Alabama, not too far from where we are in Tuskegee. So this is broken down compost that I make in these cardboard boxes and these crates. So I added this too. Actually put this down first before I put the compost. So see, these are just sprouting sweet potatoes, and these are red onions. So everything is growing in here. So these have been sitting, I don't know, for several months. Okay, so this is how I make the compost. All right. So that's just the part two, so you can see what's going on, and then the rest of the setup. Okay, leaves from my dad's yard, because I don't like to break up and move the leaves over here until the very last minute, because there's a lot of things that live under leaves and in those piles. And so that's a blueberry bush. And I guess it really needs to be planted, but someone gifted me that. I don't really do things in pots and planters because you got to touch the soil, okay? But that is my method of making soil over here. And then this is the compost hole, which I don't know if I've talked about this. This is so yeah, that's a sugar cane. I don't know if it'll sprout, but Ronnie brought that from his cousin's house. But this is a hole that is probably 3 or 4 feet deep, and it's got compost in it. Okay, and I layer it with leaves. So let me see if you can see. So this old school George Washington Carver method of having a compost hole. Okay, I don't want to mix it all up, but what you do is on this side is where you have your veggie scraps, and as you can see, something is always growing right here, and then when it's done percolating, you move it to the other side. Ooh, let me see if you can see it. And you just layer it with leaves. And those are canna lilies that withered away when it got cold. And they're thick. But you see, oh my goodness, what is this? Okay. That's part of canna lilies. So you can see that's underneath all of this. So I keep this constantly covered. And what I'll do is I will, because I'm going to grow right there. I'm going to grow baby ginger, which is where I grew it last growing season. But you can plant things in here and things will grow, and you just keep it covered the entire time because it retains moisture. Okay, so it's like a permaculture process. So this is probably like a 3-foot hole. It was a little bit too deep, but I had Liz and Joe help me with this hole. Oh my goodness, hold on. I'm trying to make sure it's covered back up. I rarely touch that hole unless I'm putting stuff in there. Let me show you the last thing here as we're moving around. Okay, so I do water catchment, y'all, over here with buckets and things when it rains, but I have a water catchment system. No, this is not pesticide. This is like my plant food that I put in here so I can spray. And then right here where Brussels sprouts, I'm going to do something else right here. Like I said, I prefer to grow in the soil. So all these are like leaves, bags of leaves that I gather from other people's places because I like to maintain integrity. And this is sawdust and cedar that I use for the compost toilet that we have on the other side. So this is the water catchment system, okay? So you see, now Joe helped with this. So he worked at a place where they sell beer, I think, and he got these barrels. Okay, so you see right here, this is to the gutter, and this is a PVC pipe. He kind of retrofit that there, and then this is a garbage can, and then I just placed another garbage can here that catches water. That's Flower right there. This is the other. She's pregnant. That's Flower right there. The other Shanti cat. And so, you put this here, and I moved this, but the motor went out in the suction. So this is the other part of this. Let me see if you can see it, because I haven't used this in a while. It's like a giant straw, and Joe made this. So it has two ends. This is the end with the straw, and if you can see right here, it's got two. Oops. Let me see. Let me just walk over there. But it's two. It's a straw. It's a end with the straw, and then it's another end. Where is it? Let me just see if I find the end of it. And it's the other end. Oh, let me see. Oh, here's the other end. Here's the other end. And you put it in there, and it suctions off inside the rain barrel. Okay, so this is plant food that I store in here and circulate. We sell plant food and compost. And like I said, water catchment, all these things are catching water because I use a lot of water. So I'm just going to walk around. Oops. So you can see what Joe made, and the engine went out. So you plug this up into the thing, and then it goes on, and then it suctions everything out. But I'm going to have to install a spigot because it doesn't work anymore, and I have to use a pail to get it out of the black trash can, which is right here. Okay, so but this is where I was suctioning things. Okay, with this here. Okay, you stick it in that hole. I don't want to untangle all this, y'all, but you get the basic idea.